Right now, you can sleep on a white sand beach in Cambodia for $9 a night, eat fresh fish amok for $2, and spend an entire day on an island with no roads, no ATMs, and no high-rises, all for $25 total. But a European investment firm has just broken ground on a five-star apart hotel with a 90-meter private beach. A Cambodian billionaire holds a 99-year government lease to turn this place into the next Asian Riviera, complete with an airport, a marina, and casinos, and the construction scars are already visible from the ferry. Koh Rong is Cambodia's largest island, and it is about to change beyond recognition. The only question is whether you get there before or after the bulldozers finish.
Welcome to Phil and H Travel. Is it worth it? Today we are going to Koh Rong, a 43-kilometer-long island in the Gulf of Thailand that has been Southeast Asia's worst-kept secret for a decade. Cheap, gorgeous, undeveloped. But 2026 is the year the development arrives for real. A five-star resort is under construction with a 2027 completion date. An airport site has already flattened jungle, and the ferry pier at Koh Touch now serves more tourists than the island's local fishing villages ever imagined. We're going to break down exactly what it costs today, what is changing, what the three logistics traps are that catch every visitor, and whether you should book now or wait. This is the honest, no-spin verdict.
I want to stop right there and just look at the sheer scale of the collision we are witnessing in this deep dive.
Yeah, it's massive.
Right, we talk about destinations changing all the time, but usually, that just means a Starbucks open near some ruins, or the taxi driver switch to an app.
Exactly, yeah. Minor things.
But this is not that. We are giving you the unvarnished blueprint of a place caught in this violent, multi-million-dollar identity crisis.
It's a complete physical transformation.
It really is. You've got this classic, sun-baked backpacker utopia colliding at full speed with a billionaire's sandbox. And to understand why, you have to look at the raw geography.
Right.
We are 25 kilometers off the southwest coast of Cambodia. You get there via a 45 to 60-minute ferry ride from Sihanoukville.
Which is a mainland city that has its own incredibly complicated story, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will.
Because when you step off that ferry, you are stepping onto Cambodia's second largest island. I really want you to visualize 43 square kilometers of landmass.
It's huge.
It is a massive expanse of Earth. And across that entire 43 square kilometers, there is not a single paved road.
None. Zero.
You will not find a single ATM dispensing cash. There's no hospital. The physical infrastructure that underpins modern travel it simply does not exist here.
So what powers the island?
The whole place relies on a fragmented patchwork of localized diesel-chugging generators or, highly vulnerable solar setups. Yet, ringing this rugged jungle is roughly 23 kilometers of the most blindingly white sand beaches you can imagine.
Right, the beaches are legendary.
Absolutely. Sheltered bays where the water is so pristine that bioluminescent plankton thrive year-round. It easily goes toe-to-toe with the Maldives or the Seychelles.
And places like that charge you 10 times the price just to look at the water.
Exactly.
And that contrast is exactly what drives the economics of this place. And frankly, it's where the situation gets deeply surreal.
How so?
Because you have this generator-powered paradise where the backpackers are perfectly happy, but the domestic development tension is accelerating at a terrifying pace.
Yeah, it's not just a rumor on a travel forum anymore.
Right. You have the Royal Group, which is Cambodia's absolute largest conglomerate led by tycoon Kith Meng. They're not playing small ball here.
Definitely not.
They secured a 99-year lease from the government, and their master plan is to completely terraform this wild island into a high-end luxury tourism hub.
They're clearing jungle for an airport designed for small aircraft,
Dredging the coastline for a deep-water marina, and rolling out golf courses, casinos, and multiple five-star resorts.
And what's genuinely fascinating about that master plan is how long it existed purely as an illusion.
Right, it's been around a while.
That specific Royal Group lease has been circulating since 2008. For 15 years, it was nothing more than ambitious lines drawn on a map.
Just a phantom future.
Exactly. Backpackers would hear whispers about it in the beach bars, but they never saw a single crane. But now, in 2026, the physical construction has violently arrived.
You can literally see the earth being moved.
You see the scars in the canopy. And it's not just domestic conglomerates. International capital is pouring in simultaneously. A major European investment firm, IM Capital Holding, has planted its flag with the Port Eves Palace project.
Right, and look at what Port Eves Palace is actually promising. They're explicitly billing this as Cambodia's first five-star beachfront apart hotel.
With freehold apartments, right?
Yes. Freehold, plus a 90-meter private beach strictly for owners, rooftop lounges, spas, VIP boutiques. They're dangling a 12% annual return for investors with a hard completion date set for 2027.
And their Apsara resort is already open on the island right now.
It is, but I have to push back on the absurdity of this. You have developers selling freehold luxury apartments on an island that, as of this morning, cannot even provide a reliable power grid to keep a ceiling fan spinning through the night.
It's a profound logistical disconnect.
It's crazy.
And it creates a deeply jarring split identity for anyone visiting right now, because on one hand, you arrive at Koh Village, the main hub, and it is a cacophony.
It's so loud.
New bars are hastily being hammered together. The sound of the ocean is drowned out by heavy construction. You have cement dust, visible plastic waste washing up, because the waste management system simply can't handle the influx.
But then you hire a small boat, travel 15 minutes around the coast to Longset Beach or Sock Sand Beach, and the construction noise just vanishes.
It's like a portal back to 1999.
Exactly. You find these near-deserted stretches of sand, basic wooden bungalows sitting right on the beach that still only cost $11 a night.
It has that raw, authentic feeling veteran travelers chase. Budget travelers are managing a total daily out-of-pocket spend of just $15 to $25.
Which means we are watching a slow-motion collision. Every month you wait, a little more of that untouched Koh Rong gets swallowed by bulldozers.
Right.
The 2008 master plan is eating the backpacker utopia alive.
Which is why the timing of your visit is the single most critical decision you'll make. The physical landscape is altering monthly.
It's not just checking a weather app anymore.
No, you are trying to thread a needle between avoiding active construction zones and dodging aggressive seasonal price gouging.
So let's break down the mechanics of those seasons, because they dictate the entire economy. You have two highly distinct windows. First, the dry season, November through April.
That's the prime window.
Right. Daytime temperatures hover comfortably between 25 and 34 degrees Celsius. Minimal rain, calm seas. Consequently, it's peak season.
Especially December through February, which is the absolute busiest and most expensive.
Exactly. Then you have the wet season, May through October. Temperatures barely drop, saying 25 to 35 degrees, but you get torrential afternoon downpours.
But the rain isn't the real issue.
No, it's the wind.
Right. From June through September, the monsoon winds whip up the sea, and that leads to unpredictable ferry cancellations. That is a massive logistical variable.
And the moment the weather shifts, the local economy reacts. If you rent a basic bungalow in the wet season, you might pay $9 to $15 a night.
Pretty cheap.
But that exact same wooden box jumps to $25 to $40 a night the moment December hits.
Wow, double or triple.
Yeah. If you're looking at a mid-range spot like Sock Sand Beach Resort, rates move from roughly $50 off-peak to well over $70, sometimes higher, in December and January.
You're paying a massive premium purely for a calm ocean. But you have to connect those weather patterns to the island's fragility. Well, a monsoon doesn't just mean a ruined beach day. When massive storms hit in July and August, operators might suspend ferry service for 2 or 3 days.
Which cuts off the food supply.
Exactly. On an island with no major supermarkets, a severed supply line means you can legitimately get stranded, while guest house kitchens run out of fresh supplies.
So your vacation becomes a mild endurance test of eating instant noodles in the dark.
While the generator fails. Yes.
Which is why I tell people to treat booking this trip like a strategic military operation. Timing is everything. Let's look at the crowds.
Koh is packed in peak season.
Right. From December through February, it becomes genuinely claustrophobic. The pier is bottlenecked with chaotic ferry arrivals. But the fascinating quirk is that beaches like Longset and Sock Sand stay remarkably quiet even then.
Unless the Nestival music event is happening.
Ah, yes.
Nestival. It's
Yeah.
held periodically at Nest Beach, and it suddenly draws a massive crowd of younger travelers looking for a heavy party scene.
So what's the best window to book?
It is unequivocally the month of November, or the shoulder months of March and April. You get dry weather, calm seas, but prices haven't hit their absolute peak and crowds are thinner.
And the worst window?
Mid-June through September. Unreliable ferries, limited food, and some family-run guest houses literally board up their windows and close entirely.
Plus, if you're booking in 2026, you have the development factor.
Yeah.
The Port Eves Palace construction causes heavy mechanical noise, truck movements, and restricted beaches.
You can't just book based on a photo from 2022.
No, you must message your host directly and verify which beaches remain unaffected. Because the ultimate tragedy is paying $40 a night in peak season just to share the beach with heavy machinery.
Yeah, that would be awful. You have to be deeply diligent.
Okay, so you've navigated the calendar. Now, let's talk about the physical journey, which begins with a massive culture shock on the mainland.
Sihanoukville.
Yes. The journey to Koh Rong mandates that you pass through Sihanoukville.
And Sihanoukville requires a psychological brace. It's been profoundly transformed by an influx of heavy Chinese casino development.
It's a harsh concrete environment.
High-rises, airborne construction dust. It bears absolutely zero resemblance to the relaxed backpacker town it was in the early 2000s.
So I have a hard logistical rule for anyone listening. Spend 0 nights in Sihanoukville.
Just pass through.
Exactly. Treat it purely as a mechanical transit hub. You take a van or bus down from Phnom Penh, 5 to 6 hours, $15 to $18, or a domestic flight from Siem Reap for $56 one way.
Whichever route, just align your arrival with the same-day ferry departure and get off the mainland.
So you get to the ferry. What are the details there?
You'll typically use Speed Ferry Cambodia or Buvasi. A return ticket is between $20 and $30, and the crossing takes 45 to 60 minutes.
And the approach is beautiful.
It's breathtaking. The murky industrial runoff shifts to luminous turquoise water. The island rises up as these dense jungle hills. You instantly understand why a billionaire wants to carve a luxury empire into it.
Sure, it looks perfect from a distance, but then you dock at the Koh Touch Pier, and your sensory profile is brutally split in two.
It's a real shock to the system.
If you look left, you smell fresh cement. Bars are blasting loud techno at 2 p.m., and exhausted tourists are dragging heavy rolling luggage through deep sand.
Because there are no paved roads.
Right. But if you look right, you see traditional wooden fishing boats. You smell sea salt and jungle foliage, local kids playing in the shallows.
And it's intensely hot and humid with no air-conditioned terminal.
That is the exact moment the romanticized idea of effortless island hopping dies. Dragging a 20-kilo roller suitcase through hot sand while techno blasts at you is a brutal logistical reality.
And getting from the pier to your bed isn't easy. You have to hire a local boat taxi, which costs $5 to $15, or commit to a sweaty 1 to 2 hour jungle walk.
No tuk-tuks, no regular taxis.
No, your own 2 feet and the open sea. It creates this profound psychological whiplash. The island hasn't decided what it wants to become yet.
Which means we need to talk about where your money is actually going for a bed. Let's break down the accommodation costs in zones.
Let's start with the backpacker tier, under $15 a night.
Right. At the entry level, you have Hornbill Homestay, $9 a night. Very basic, fan, cold water, it's pure shelter.
Or the Gecko Guest House for $15, right in Koh Touch, which is a great social base.
And then there's the eco tier that always drives me crazy. Places like Pre-Kompang Eco Camping. They charge $20 for tents and hammocks.
Targeting people who want that raw, disconnected experience.
But let's apply critical thinking. You get power outages, limited Wi-Fi, and cold showers. Is it genuinely ecological, or just a romantic rebrand for we don't have electricity?
Well, some travelers actively seek that rawness out.
Maybe, but for $20 in 30-degree heat, it feels like paying a premium for an endurance test.
Okay, fair. Let's step up to the mid-range tier, $25 to $75. You have Mafia Resort at $23, AC, Wi-Fi, near Koh Touch.
That's a solid value.
Then Koh Rong 71 Guest House at $71, very comfortable. Or Robinson Bungalows on the neighboring island of Koh Rong Samlom, $20 to $75, known for great Khmer food.
If you are traveling with a family, you're in the family tier, $50 to $100. The standout is Sok San Beach Resort at roughly $72.
Right, directly on the beach.
It's a conventional resort experience.
Yeah.
But UT, and this is a massive caveat for parents, there are no medical facilities nearby. If something goes wrong, the nearest hospital is back in Sihanoukville.
Which is a huge factor. And finally, the luxury tier, $150 to over $300. The Apsara Resort by IM Capital is operational. 5-star rooms from $208.
Plus Royal Sands Koh Rong with its infinity pool.
Yeah.
And Port Ives Palace coming in 2027.
But you have to scrutinize that luxury.
Absolutely. Paying $208 a night at Apsara still means relying on the fragile logistics web. You're paying for a 5-star aesthetic on a 2-star grid. If a monsoon hits, The 5-star kitchen runs out of food, just like the backpacker spots.
So given all that, what's your top pick?
For sheer ROI, it's undeniably Mafia Resort. $23 for actual AC and Wi-Fi near the logistics hub. What about you?
I'd choose Sock Sand Beach Resort at $72. Yes, it's more expensive, but the untouched quality of that beach justifies it. Plus, it physically removes you from the construction noise of Koh Touch.
All right, so you have a bed, now you need to eat. And on an island with no supermarkets, the supply chain dictates your wallet.
Every single item has to be shipped across the water. So groceries have a 30 to 50% mainland markup.
A 1.5-liter water is 50 cents to $1.
An Angkor beer is 75 cents to $1.50 at a mini mart, but $2 to $2.50 at a bar.
Instant noodles are 50 cents. And bring meds and sunscreen from the mainland.
Definitely. Now, local food is incredibly cheap and excellent. Fish amok is just $1.50 to $2.50 at a local kitchen.
But if you walk 50 meters down the beach to a tourist bar, they charge $5 to $7 for the exact same dish.
Exactly. A seafood barbecue platter is $3 to $5. Rice and stir fry are $1.50 to $2.50. Fruit shakes are $1 to $2. Choosing local food is a far superior cultural experience.
Then you have the tourist food, which is just universally trafficked.
Yeah.
$6 to $12 for mediocre burgers.
Yeah, it's not great.
I have to warn people against the $8 to $10 wood-fired pizza at Koh Touch.
Yeah.
It is frozen aisle quality. Why travel 6,000 miles to eat terrible pizza when you can pay $2 for life-changing local curry?
Totally. And while interacting with locals, etiquette is key. Modest dress at temples and never touch anyone's head.
Right. And tipping.
Not mandatory, but 500 to 1,000 reals is generous. Friendly bargaining is fine for boats, but aggressive haggling over 25 cents is incredibly poor form.
It's embarrassing. You're arguing over a quarter with someone whose daily wage is a fraction of your flight cost. Don't do it.
So let's synthesize this into the ultimate daily out-of-pocket reality.
Let's run the matrix. Low or backpacker tier is $15 to $25 a day. 9 to 15 for a bed, 4 to 6 for food, 0 to 2 for transport, 0 to 2 for activities, because the plankton is free, and 1 to 2 miscellaneous.
Incredible value.
Mid-range couple is $40 to $75 per person, 15 to 38 for accommodation, 10 to 15 for food, 5 to 8 for transport, 5 to 10 for activities.
Still a great deal for an amazing vacation.
Higher luxury is 150 to 300 plus, 100 to 210 for the room, 30 to 50 for food, 10 to 20 for transport, 15 to 30 for activities. But again, inconsistent service.
Which brings us to the digital nomad budget. $500 to $800 a month, $250 to $400 for accommodation, $150 to $200 for food.
On paper, it's a dream. But let me burst that bubble right now.
Okay.
If you want to work from a hammock here, the Wi-Fi is 5 to 10 megabits per second, and it fails constantly.
Yeah, it's heavily dependent on those localized generators.
There's no co-working space. Trying to do a Zoom call on generator Wi-Fi is like communicating via smoke signals. It's great for a one-week reset, but terrible for a monthly base. Go to Phnom Penh or Campo instead.
And that lack of infrastructure leads perfectly into the 3 named logistics traps that catch every visitor.
Yeah, it's like a survival video game.
Yeah.
Trap 1 is the cash desert. It drains your health.
There are 0 ATMs on Koh Rong.
None. And cards. 3 to 5% surcharges, and the machines decline constantly anyway. People end up taking punitive loans from guest houses.
The fix is to bring at least $100 in small bills, USD or real, and a $50 hidden backup from Sihanoukville.
Trap 2 is the ferry gamble. It traps you in the level. Operators like Speed Ferry or Buvasi shift schedules.
What?
Wet season cancellations strand people.
Travelers miss flights because the return ferries sell out in peak season. The fix is to book your return immediately. It's $10 to $15, 2 days in advance for peak season, or build a 2-day buffer in the wet season.
And Trap 3 is the final boss ripping you off. The boat taxi squeeze. There are no meters. Arriving tourists get quoted $15 to $25 for a $3 to $5 ride.
You have to negotiate the total price per boat, not per person, before boarding. $5 to $8 to long set is fair. Or have your accommodation book it.
Moving from the wallet risks to physical safety, we have to confront the island paradise fallacy.
Right, stepping off the grid means stepping away from safety nets.
Risk 1, medical. No hospital, no ambulance. Serious issues require a 45-minute boat evac to Sihanoukville, which is impossible in storms. Evacuation insurance is non-negotiable.
Risk 2, water. Unpatrolled beaches, no lifeguards, rip currents at Longset, and box jellyfish in the wet season. There have been 2 recent drownings.
Risk 3, crime. Petty theft from remote bungalows happens. Lock your stuff up.
For solo female travelers, it's broadly safe during the day with a social scene. But do not walk dark jungle paths alone at night. Stay at established guest houses over isolated shacks.
For families, it is a hard NO for kids under 10.
Yeah.
A minor ear infection shouldn't require a medevac speedboat through a monsoon. Know your risk tolerance. Teens are okay at Sock Sand Resort.
And watch out for scams. Overpriced taxis, fake guides, and fake beachfront listings that are actually a 15-minute jungle walk.
So with all these harsh realities, no ATMs, medical risk, construction, why do people still come?
Let's talk about the highs and lows. The best moment is absolutely the bioluminescent plankton at Longset Beach. It's completely free. Wade into warm black water on a moonless night and watch it glow electric blue.
That ancient magic contrasts so sharply with the modern scars. And the best beach, Sock Sand at sunrise, 4 kilometers of empty white sand and turquoise water.
Mainland Southeast Asia's finest. But the most overhyped thing is the Koh Tush party scene.
Oh, totally. Hyped by blogs, but it's just a few bars on a narrow beach, peaks at midnight. Trying to recreate Ibiza on generator power is a recipe for a bad time. Go to Koh Phangan in Thailand for a real party.
And the honest disappointment is the development scars. Abandoned rusting projects, plastic waste, the jarring flattened airport site, and the active 2026 Port East Palace construction zone.
It's an island, locked in rapid, ugly transition. So if that sounds like too much work, what are the alternatives?
Alternative 1 is Koh Rong Samlum, 15 minutes south. Quieter, cleaner. Saracen Bay has $12 to $80 bungalows. Lazy Beach has total disconnection, no Wi-Fi or power after 10 p.m.
A $20 to $30 daily budget.
Pick this for beauty without the Koh Touch noise. Alternative 2 is Koh Lanta in Thailand, 90 minutes from Krabi.
Highly developed. Paved roads, 7-Elevens, ATMs, hospitals. Higher budget, roughly $35 to $50 a day, but relaxed with safety nets.
So the final reckoning, taking all the costs, traps, and sunrises into account, let's run the matrix. Is it worth it?
For the backpackers, yes. A rare $25 a day genuine island experience. $9 beds, $2 food, free bioluminescence, bring cash and book ferries.
For the mid-range couple, yes, with conditions. Expect basic infrastructure. Stay at Sock Sand or Longset to dodge noise. Unbeatable beauty for $40 to $75 a day.
For the family. And lack of medical facilities and lifeguards makes it unsuitable for young kids. Go to Koh Lanta or Langkawi.
For the luxury traveler, yes, with conditions. Apsara and Royal Sands are great, but the infrastructure isn't 5-star yet. Embrace the ruggedness or wait for 2028 when Port Ives finishes.
And for the digital nomad or solo, yes, with conditions. Great for a 5 to 7 day reset, terrible for a month-long work base due to Wi-Fi.
Before we sign off, here's a final lingering question for you to chew on. When an island transforms its ecosystem to cater exclusively to high-end foreign investors and VIPs, what happens to the Cambodian locals who originally made it vibrant? Is visiting now, even as a budget traveler, just funding the very bulldozers destroying the island's original charm?
That is the honest verdict from Phil and H.